Hey folks, here we are. It's time for Global Tarot Circle. Today is February 5th, 2020, and as we do every month, we are meeting here. We will do readings for the first half hour, and then we'll do some informal tarot workshop stuff in the second half hour. If you happen to be watching in archive, either on YouTube or Facebook, thank you so much for being here. The room's just starting to fill up now. Thanks everyone for coming in. As soon as you come in, just let us know who you are, where in the world you are, what deck you're working with, and if you have any burning questions. We begin every session with the first half hour being all about burning questions. And a burning question can be one of two things. It can be the sort of question you'd like to ask a room full of tarot readers. It can be a question for a reading. And if you would like a reading, ask your question. Hey, Celeste, nice to see you here. We will read for you. If you have your cards here, get shuffled. And if you'd like to join us in doing some readings, that is what it's all about. Hey, Marion, nice to see you. Marion is here with the Crow Tarot. Very good. Leisha is here. Glad you're here. So as people get into the room, let me just start with some announcements. Hey, Mark, nice to see you. Hello from Southern New Jersey. Glad you're here. So the big announcement this month. Hey, Julie, nice to see you. The big announcement is StarCon. What is StarCon? StarCon is a new conference that will be held in January 2021 in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. StarCon stands for Southeastern Tarot Artists and Readers Conference. And this is a tarot conference that will really honor our tarot artists, but will also have a broad scope of study. So we will not only be studying tarot, we'll be studying Kipper and Lenormand and oracle cards, all kinds of great stuff. The website is up at starcon.com. It's spelled with two A's, STAARCON. We also have a Facebook group, same name. You can ask to join. Registration is not yet open. As soon as it is, I'll let you know. But I want you guys thinking about getting yourself to Palm Beach Gardens in January of 2021. Okay, a couple of other announcements. Of course, tomorrow we're doing our murder mystery evening here in Palm City. If you don't have a ticket yet, there are still tickets available from 7 to 9. Come and help figure out who killed Noah Fection. Let's see what else we have going on. This Sunday, the 9th, from 4 to 6 is our monthly tarot meetup at Panera in Palm City. Hope you'll join us. And on the 19th of February, I am teaching a tarot class specifically on reading for relationships and personalities right here in Palm City. And on the 22nd at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, I will be live on YouTube with another free webinar. This time we're doing Working with the Court Cards. So, hope to see you all soon. Let's see who we've got here. We've got lots of people coming into the room. Let's see. Nils is here. Hi, Dina from Nyack, New York, working with Morgan Greer. Love that deck. And you got, I think, the first question in. So we'll come back to you in just a minute, Dina. With that question, let's say hello to Trisha, to Jeannie, working with Cat's Eye Tarot. That is such an interesting deck, isn't it? Nicola's here. Cindy's here. Ferdinand is here. Nilsa, you've got second question. Neil, nice to see you. Pam Hartley, so glad you're here. Susan from South Jersey, cooking and watching. What's for dinner? Glad you're here. Okay, Celeste, looks like you've got third question. Cindy, I'd love to learn. Well, come to StarCon and you'll get a really good start. Linda, nice to see you from Liverpool. Deirdre says, wish I could be there for the murder mystery. Sounds like fun. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. It's not something we've done before. Robin, nice to see you. Glad you're here. Okay, let's see. So, first question. Okay, for Dina. Now, guys, those of you who have your cards ready, get shuffled. Here's how this works. Sausage and polenta, and I'm not invited to dinner? Good Lord, that sounds delicious. And Trisha is using Dark Mansion. Very good, very good. Okay. Right, Dina likes to knock on her cards. Hey, Joe, nice to see you. So this is how it works. If you would like to read for someone, we're each pulling one card and giving our interpretation. So what you're going to do is put out the person's name, their first name, the name of the card you got. Hey, Rapid, nice to see you. The name of the card you got and your interpretation. If I read for you, then what you need to do is scroll through the comments to get the rest of your reading. And it's always so interesting to see how many of the same cards and themes come up, when there's discrepancy, when we're all in agreement. It's a really interesting thing. So we do move pretty quickly. And it's easier, it's quicker for me to talk than it is for you to type. So if you find you have to do every other one, that's perfectly okay. Don't stress out. We have enough readers here that everyone will get a great reading one way or the other. So let's take a look and see what we've got, starting with Dina's question. Any guidance on the husband getting a new job? Okay, if you would like to do a reading for Dina's husband getting a new job, all you have to do is put her name, Dina, D-E-N-A, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Okay, let's see what we've got here for Dina. David, glad you're here. TK, nice to see you. We're going to see you guys Sunday at Panera, you guys. Hope to see you. Okay, Dina, let's see what we got going on here. Dina, the 8 of Cups reversed. So this isn't like my favorite card for getting a new job. It feels like he might be a little stuck. He might be either stuck in his idea of what he can do or how to get a job, or even worried that he's not going to get a job. What he really needs to do is either cast his net wider or change his attitude a little bit in order to move into that new job. David says, see you Sunday. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, and here comes Trisha reading for Dina. So Dina, go ahead and look and see what you've got here. And thanks everyone for participating. Okay, for Nilsa, what do I need to know about my current relationship? If you'd like to read for Nilsa, put her name, Nilsa, N-I-L-S-A, the name of the card you pulled, and your interpretation. Let's see what we see for Nilsa. And Carol is coming on Sunday. That's wonderful. Glad you're here today as well. Okay. Temperance. This is a great card for a relationship, Nilsa. It suggests that you are finding a balance, that you are finding a way to work together. You are two different people. It's not easy, but you're finding a way to make it work, and that's really great. So if you'd like to read for Nilsa, go ahead, put her name, the name of the card, and your interpretation. Okay. Celeste. Oh, interesting, man. I want the skinny on all of this for Celeste. Will things change as a result of a recent news article concerning my employer? Doesn't that sound juicy? Oh my gosh, there's a huge story there. All right, so what do we see about that? Will things change? How will it affect things? Let's take a look. If you'd like to read for Celeste, put her name, C-E-L-E-S-T, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Whoa! Heck yeah, they'll change the tower. Big time. This is going to make a huge change, a huge difference. And actually, it might shake things up right now. But in the long run, it might bring improvement. Okay, next question. Deirdre, what is the universe trying to tell me? Oh, and interesting, so I can take a look. The New York Times, January 31, did an expose. So interesting. So that expose is going to create change, I believe. Okay. Deirdre, what is the universe trying to tell me? If you would like to read for Deirdre, and hey, there's Katie doing readings. Nice to see you here today. Thanks everyone so much for being here and for participating. Nicola's doing readings. This is just great. Deirdre, hey Tammy, nice to see you here. What is the universe trying to tell Deirdre? If you would like to read for Deirdre, go ahead and put her name, Dierdre, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Okay, Kimberly's here. She's driving. Keep your eyes on the road, but glad you're here. Okay. Deirdre, what is the universe trying to tell me? 9 of Cups reversed. If you're not satisfied with something, you need to make a change. See what other people have to say here. Okay. Neil, what does the universe want me to know? Let's take a look and see. TK is here, freshly showered, I understand, from Global Tarot Circle Facebook page, and doing readings. Thank you so much. Marion is here and doing readings. Thank you so much. Okay, for Neil, what does the universe want Neil to know? 3 of Pentacles. Basically, you just got to keep working, got to keep working, got to keep working. If you keep working, things will work out. Anyone else wants to read for Neil? Go ahead and put his name, Neil, Neil, the name of the card you pulled in, your interpretation. Pam is doing readings. So great. So glad you're here. Marion, the doctor has signed me off work for 4 weeks with stress. Man, I'm so sorry you're having a tough time. But glad you can get this time to chill out. What can I do to make my best of the time? Very good question for Marion. Okay, if you would like to read for Marion, go ahead and put her name, Marion, Marion, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Let's see what we've got going on here. Okay. For Marion, 6 of Pentacles reversed. You know, really, this is about not worrying about other people and worrying about yourself. This is about good self-care in general. Maybe it's about eating right. Maybe it's about sleeping right. You just need to take care of you. And I think you're someone who wants to take care of everybody else and not you. But you have to take care of you in this time. For Linda. Okay, Linda's question. She says why, but I think you mean what. What does Kay feel after our rift? We had a bit of a fallout. So this is a real teachable moment here, because this is the dreaded third-party reading, isn't it? Where we have to look at someone else who is not here, who has not given their permission to be read, and do a reading. Now, I think this is perfectly acceptable because this is information for Linda to help her understand what's going on with Kay. So if we simply ask that this be information about the relationship, about the situation that is helpful to Linda, I think it's perfectly okay. So if you would like to read for Linda, go ahead and put her name, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. What's Kay feeling after this? The Empress reversed, sort of feeling like perhaps you have not been compassionate. Perhaps this person does not, is not sort of feeling the love from you, is not feeling a sense of compassion from you. And so part of that misunderstanding may have been that literally you have been misunderstood. And that may be hurtful, but it may be very appropriate, and there may be an opportunity to really sort of correct that misinformation. Okay. Joe, basically always the love question. What do you feel about the new guy in my life? Okay, let's take a look and see if you'd like to read for Joe. Her name is Joe, J-O. The name of the card and your interpretation. What do you think about her new guy? I'm just happy you have a new guy. Okay, Four of Wands reversed. I got to tell you, I don't think he's the one. But I think that it's good that he's there. It's good that you're having this experience. Enjoy it while you're enjoying it. But if you're not enjoying it, you can let it go. Okay, TK. And TK has been doing readings. Here's a question for TK. I just submitted my Canadian immigration papers. Will I get it in 5 to 6 months? I only have 5 to 6 months left to stay in the U.S. I am planning to go to Canada directly from here. Okay, so will you get into Canada in time? You have a limited amount of time you can stay in the U.S. Will you get into Canada in time? If you would like to read for TK, just put his name, TK, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Judgment, yes, I believe you will. I think it'll all happen in time and it will be fine. It will be fine. Nicola, how can I increase money in my home? Okay, and Nicola's been doing readings, so let's read for Nicola. If you would like to read for Nicola, go ahead and put her name, Nicola, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. What can Nicola do to increase finances in the home? The Knight of Swords. So this is really interesting. If you have any skills with technology or language, those skills might best be employed. This also would say that you have to move swiftly, that there are things you can do, but you have to feel empowered and you have to move swiftly. And of course, I'm thinking about this because you're a tarot person and language and technology, should you be doing readings online? Is there something else you could be doing online? It just seems like a thing. Okay. Okay, Cindy, is my health improving? A setback happened. So is that a setback after the swallowing of the drill or some other thing? I'm so sorry to hear this. And, this is a teachable moment too, because there's a lot of readers who are very uncomfortable reading for health issues. And understandably so, we're not doctors. We can't make diagnoses. We don't want people to use a tarot reading in place of actual sound medical advice. But health is an important part of our lives, and I think it's perfectly okay for us to look at, what's going on with the health, as long as we know that doctors are involved and we know that Cindy is working with her medical community. Okay, so what are we seeing for Cindy's health? If you would like to read for Cindy, go ahead and put her name, Cindy, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. And I see lots of readings going on. Again, if I read for you, make sure, even if you're doing readings, that you take a moment to read through and see everyone else's readings for you. That way you put together a full multi-card reading done from around the world. We really are a global tarot circle. Okay, so what do we see for Cindy's health? Knight of Cups reversed. Are you not drinking enough water? And are you having some emotional stuff that goes along with this? It is true that it may take some time and you may need to seek some other remedies. It'll be okay, but it'll take some time. Okay, lots of readings going on. Okay, for Leisha, if you would like to read for Leisha, and I think I saw Kimberly just coming in. Glad you're here. Yeah, jump right in. That's fine. Okay, Leisha, what does the universe want me to know? If you would like to read for Leisha, go ahead and put his name in, Leisha, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. What does the universe want Leisha to know? Two of Pentacles reversed. You may be very busy. You may have a lot of demands on you for time, for money, for energy, and it may be a lot. You may need to pick and choose and prioritize to do what you need to do. Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, for Pam. If you would like to read for Pam, go ahead and put her name, P-A-M. Her question is, what does the universe have to tell me today? If you'd like to read for her, Pam, name of the card, and your interpretation. Julie's here doing readings. We got lots of people sharing their readings. We all really appreciate that. What do we see for Pam? Knight of Pentacles, new job coming. You may be moving where you live and starting a new job. Very good, very good. Okay, and Pam's been doing readings as well. Tammy says, I need help. And I think there's more here coming, so I'll get to you in a minute because I think you've got more to say here. Lauren, nice to see you. Irene doing readings, very good. Pam doing readings. Thank you all so much. Okay, for Tammy, what does the universe want me to know? And then Tammy says she's sad because she lost her dog. Her dog has passed away. So we all send you, love and care and all that good stuff. What does the universe want Tammy to know at this difficult time? Go ahead and put her name, Tammy, T-A-M-M-Y, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Eight of Cups reversed. Now, this is the second time we've gotten this card in reversal, but a whole different interpretation in this case. This tells me the spirit of your dog is still very much with you, trying to comfort you and trying to help you. I know that doesn't make it any better, really. But I think the spirit of the dog wants you to know that you are not alone here. Okay, very good. And Deirdre said she's thinking about moving. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. Okay. Miss you too, Tammy. I will be in town in April. Okay, Trisha. What is blocking me from finding my soul's purpose? So this is an interesting question because it assumes that your soul has a purpose, which is a philosophical assumption. It's a spiritual assumption. So if you aren't a reader who believes that the soul has a particular purpose, how do you do that reading? I think when I hear that question, what I hear is some frustration that somehow Trisha is not feeling like she is in her right livelihood. She is not feeling like she's doing something that makes her feel like this is what she's here to do. And obviously she's been looking for it and she's having a hard time finding it. So the key is whether or not you believe in a soul purpose for reals. We can all honor the fact that some of us are in jobs, and Trisha agrees exactly, that some of us are in jobs doing things where we really feel like we're making a difference, where we really feel like we are on the right path for us. And it does feel spiritual when that happens, doesn't it? And if you're a person who's looking for it and hasn't been able to find it, what do you do about that? So, when you pull a card for Trisha, you might give her a direction to look. You might be able to say why she hasn't been able to find. You might even be able to give her an idea of what she can do. So be open to what the cards have to say about Trisha as she looks for her path. If you would like to read for her, put her name, Trisha, Tricia, And I would think that knitting would be your sole purpose. Sorry. Um, Trisha? Hey, Cheryl, nice to see you. The name of the card you got and your interpretation. Let's see what I come up with for Trisha. Judgment. That's really interesting because this can literally be a card of hearing your calling. Literally. And so I have to believe that, yes, there is a calling for you. There is a sense of soul purpose. And it's an interesting thing because, this is like where tarot can be very literal and kind of a pain in the ass, because she's like, how do I hear my calling? What's keeping me from hearing my calling? And the card comes up and says, you will hear your calling. How helpful is that? Is that helpful? Maybe it is. Hey, Marianne, nice to see you. Maybe it is helpful because it tells you to keep looking, that the calling is there. Look and listen and be open because it really is there. It's not too late. Nothing is blocking you. Sometimes things just take time. One of my favorite expressions is things of quality have no fear of time. So there's that. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, just looking at all these readings. Oh my gosh, so Linda, it's your daughter. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Of course you're the Empress reversed. So your daughter is not feeling like you are doing what she wants her mother to be doing. And so you really have to look at that and say, well, am I? And she just needs to get over it? Or is there a way I could help her as a mother in a different way? So interesting. Okay. Kathy Elaine, a plan to pursue after my retirement. And I do need to tell you guys, we are coming to the end of our reading segment. I'll keep going for a few more minutes. I'll get to as many questions as I can, but any questions that are submitted now or further, we're not going to get to. Okay. Kathy, what is a path to pursue after my retirement? Oh, 5 of Pentacles reversed. Honey, after your retirement, you've got a whole other career. It may be something that you love, something that you've been doing, something that you enjoy. I don't know how much you need the money or how much you just want the growth or the other opportunities that come with it. But after your retirement, there is a whole other career. So if you'd like to read for Kathy, go ahead and put her name, Kathy, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Okay. From when I drew the tower, gotcha. Okay, it's funny, the time lapse between what I say and when I see the comment. So that's funny. Okay. Hey, Diana. Recently estranged from my daughter and her family, and also recently separated from a long-time job. Have a new one not crazy about. Feeling a little lost, understandably, and could use input. Okay, if you'd like to read for Diana, go ahead and put her name, Diana, Diana, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. She's got a lot going on. What advice can we give? The Chariot, man, you're in charge. Just keep moving on. You may decide you want a new job, but the whole thing is, the Chariot tells you that you are in charge of your life. You just have to go forward and you will be fine. Okay. Julie, what's the energy around my move? I'm under contract on a house, nervous, and the ex is moving back to the U.S. He quit his job. Oh, good God. Okay. We were wondering if that would happen. That's so funny. And I'm curious to know where your new house is. Are you coming on Sunday I want to know. I want to learn everything. Okay. So the energy about this and about this new job. And if you'd like to read for Julie, go ahead and put her name, Julie, and the name of the card you got. Okay. Page of Wands reversed. So interesting. I feel like it's fine. It's fine. I don't know that you know all the information about your ex. I'm still not sure he's going to do what he says he's going to do. He's always a wild card. I think the new house is fine, but I feel like there's some information that has not yet been shared. And so be ready for new information coming in. I don't think there's anything to be nervous about here. I think it's fine. I think of your two kids, one of them will have a little bit of a harder time adjusting. I think it's all going to be fine, but it's weird and surreal. You've been in this house forever. It is weird and surreal to move, but it's all fine. Okay, and we are coming to the end of our time. Kimberly, glad you're here. And let's see. Okay. Okay, so that is all the people that I'm going to be able to read for today. If some of you are still doing readings, like I see readings for Julie still coming in, keep them coming, that's fine. And there's some other things going on here. David said, I'm reading for some of the questions that Christiane is not addressing because my computer doesn't show me all the posts. So I'm dealing with the ones I see on the screen. Hope that's not confusing anyone. Well, what that means, because I'm taking them in order as they come, and will not be taking any more. But if you asked a question and didn't get an answer, you might want to scroll through to see if David was able to get to you. So that is just great. Okay. And Billy says, well, you did the reading. I simultaneously pulled the Knight of Cups reversed for another's reading. That's so great. Julie says, thanks. I'll be there on Sunday to catch you up. Yay. Okay. So now is when we switch over from our readings. And thank you guys so much for participating in all of that. Now is when we switch over from that to talking about tarot and the work that we do as tarot readers. In this global room, we have amateur readers, we have professional readers, we have full-time professionals, we have part-time professionals, we have people on the way to becoming professional, contemplating being professional. So we have all kinds of readers here. And what I do every month before we have this meeting is I go to the Global Tarot Circle group. And if you're not a member of that group, just look for it on Facebook, Global Tarot Circle, and ask to join. And I ask folks what you'd like to talk about tonight. And we always get such a great list. And that's what I'm looking for right now is that list. Did I pull it up? Why, no, I didn't. But here we are. Hang on a minute. Okay. Hang on a minute here. Okay, so I thought I had it pulled up already, but I didn't. Here we go. Let me get it. But let me start with one that, here we go. One that I remember, which I think was the first one up. And that was, for those of you who read for others, how do you tell people what you really do? You say, okay, I read tarot. But what can someone expect in a reading? If a person's never had a reading or if they've only ever had a lousy tarot reading, how do you explain what you do? How do you explain, hey, TK, thank you for dropping the link. How do you, here it is. This is from Kimberly. How to describe what it is you do for clients. So for those of you who read for others, would you please type in, how do you tell people what it is you do, what it is you do for clients? It's such an interesting thing. And I think this is a brilliant question. We all sort of have a different style. We all expect different things. What I would tell someone if someone asked me, well, what would I get? If I sit down with you for a tarot reading, what's going to happen? What am I going to get? There's a part of me that just wants to say, well, sit down and find out. Because it's different for every person, isn't it? Every reading is a unique experience. But what can you say? I might say it's really about insight and perspective. It's about what's going on in your life right now. It's about the spiritual influences around you. It's about how you're processing things from your past. It's about figuring out what your goals are, what your skills are, and how you're going to move forward into the future. I might say something like that. What about you guys? If you have something that you typically say to clients or that you think encapsulates what it is that happens at your reader's table, or if you've had a reading with someone and think that you can sort of encapsulate what that is or what that was, go ahead and share. We would love to hear it. We would love to know. Okay, so here's one that came from Serena. I don't see Serena here tonight, but it's a good one. How tarot history and the study of tarot history can assist or not assist the modern reader. That's an interesting thing to think about. Okay, here's from Marion about the first question. I call it a consultation and provide guidance and insight into whatever situation the client wants to know about. Good. Celeste says you get insight, inspiration, ideas, and thought-provoking ideas. I love it. I love it. Susan, you already know the answer, and I use the cards along with my intuition to help you see it. Oh, very, very good. Very, very good. Okay. Okay, and Linda's got a reading here that she has not labeled. The card pulled was the Queen of Wands. Linda, can you let us know who that's for? Okay, David, who does psychometry, says it's even trickier with psychometry since no one knows what the heck that is. Tarot is easier as they've at least heard of it. I like to say that the cards just know things they have no business knowing. It's like counseling from universal energy. I love that. Oh, here's one from Irene. This is really good. I'll help to see patterns and blocks in my client's situation. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. This is great. And this is, as much as we enjoy doing readings, this is really one of the reasons that we enjoy meeting together. Because sharing these ideas with each other, it's so inspiring. I'm learning new things and thinking about new things, and I know you are too. So, how great is that? Okay. Kathy says, get clarity in the potential around the question on your mind. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Very good. Very good. So, keep going with those. And what about tarot history? Do you study tarot history? And does it inform your readings? Now, TK says, I can sometimes read the face. I don't know how. Interesting. Okay. So, the study of tarot history and how it informs your tarot practice. I will tell you that I do not study the history of each card or how it was in the Marseille deck, how it was in the Visconti Sforza, and, how it is now. I don't really do that. Although, with some cards I do, like the fact that the Emperor's Lantern was originally an hourglass. And then it became a candle because candles were used to tell time. So he's really holding a clock. We call it the lamp of wisdom, and that's great, but it's also a clock. That's an example of how the history on that card helps my understanding of it. I don't do that with every card, but I do it with some. Do you? Now, here's the other thing, though. about how the history helps my understanding. When I learned that tarot first began as a card game to commemorate a wedding. When I first learned that, I was already a full-time tarot professional, and it freaked me out. I had been taught, as so many of us had been back in the day, that tarot came to us as a mystical tool. But it really didn't. Historically, it came as a deck of playing cards. And so I thought, good Lord, I have just dedicated my entire life and career to a freaking card game. And I thought about it, and I thought about all the readings I had done for myself, for others, and how much truth was there. And I thought, the mystical truth that comes from the idea that a mundane game can become this truth-telling device is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a lesson to us all, a lesson to not take ourselves too seriously, a lesson to find the mystical within the mundane, and a lesson of how spirit will speak through whatever it can. And so, that was an interesting process for me. The other thing is recognizing that even in that very first tarot deck, Visconti Sforza, real people are pictured in it. The wedding that it was designed to commemorate, the wedding between the Visconti family and the Sforza family, actually shows the bride and groom in the lover's card. And I love that to this day, it is a tradition to picture real people in different tarot cards. And I just love that. So, let's see what other people have to say. Okay, and that reading from Linda was for Erica. Dina, learning some backstory is helpful, like Seven of Pentacles modeled after farmers from Irish potato blight. The farmer could be digging up a bad harvest. Very interesting, yes. Celeste, I'm not into the history, but I'm intrigued because my grandma read cards from a regular deck of playing cards. And you're French. That is a very French thing. In fact, there's even a style of playing card reading called French style. So there is a whole French history there. Susan, sometimes I find the history around the image to be helpful, especially if it's a fine art deck. Leisha, tarot history is helpful in that it makes us aware of what has went before, background info. As you say about the lantern candle clock. I didn't know it was a mystical tool until I started reading. We make it what we want it to be. Just use it however you want. Beautiful. Jeannie, I like to know the history about the cards, but don't go into a deep study of it. My historical knowledge stems around curiosity from conversations or from guidebooks that accompany many books. David, most divination is done using mundane items. That's right. I'm so glad we've moved past reading animal entrails. Hallelujah. Kathy, I love history for its own sake, but I've always relied on my intuition. Linda, I don't take history into consideration. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. Not at all. Marion, the history can be a good thing. Although when you get a client adamant that tarot came from ancient Egypt, I know. TK says history, yes, because it makes the cards speak to me better. Sure, good stuff. Okay, very good. Now, here is Cheryl's question. And you guys, if you happen to be local, I am doing a whole class on this here in my Palm City office on February 19th. Relationships, Valentine's, how to read your tarot cards for soulmates, friendships, or time to just let them go. Very good, very good. Hey, Missy, glad you're here. Going back to the history stuff. I heard for the longest time that the Solabusca was the oldest tarot deck. But then when I got my hands on it, I didn't even agree that it was a tarot deck. That kind of made me lose interest in the history. But I'm glad I already know about the Marseille, RWS, and a little bit about but how do we pronounce this? Thoth, Toth, Toth, Tahote? Could be anything. Celeste. Wow, now I have to do some research. I never thought about the French connection. Yeah, there absolutely is one, Celeste, for reals. Did you ever, way back in the day, Celeste, I'm sure you came to Christiana's Psychic and New Age Fair at some point, and you might have at some point had a reading with Helen Edson, who sadly is no longer with us. And she read Playing Cards French Style. I wonder if you ever sat with her, and I wonder if you ever, saw a similarity between what she did and what your grandmother did. Just curious. Okay, so let's talk about love. It's a funny thing because and Celeste says, of course you did. Celeste is from Putnam, Connecticut, where I first started so many years ago. And so, we go back a really long way. Hey, Deirdre, sorry you have to go. Thanks so much for being here. Have a good night. I'll hope to see you soon. Okay, so reading for relationships. The question that Cheryl asks, really is, you're doing a reading for someone and they want to know about their relationship. And what they want to know is this a keeper? Should we just be friends? You still have Helen's business card. Oh my gosh, that's really special. Wow. We miss her. Okay. When you're reading for someone and their question is, I'm seeing this person, does it have a future? Is this a keeper? Are we going to be friends or should I just let it go? What are your thoughts about that process? How do you do it? How does that work? What are your stories about this? What are your experiences with this? Now, from Kimberly. When I started reading for myself, I used to like to practice at a local cafe, but was worried what they might say if they noticed. The owners were from Italy, though, and their reaction was, you know how to play tarot. They thought I was playing the card game, and they were really excited about that. You know what? There are people, especially in Italy and in France, who think we are silly for the way we use tarot because they play the game of tarot, which is a trump-taking bridge game. So there you go. So what are your thoughts about reading on relationships? And again, if you happen to be local, there's nowhere you would rather be on February 19th, but in my class about exactly this. But let's talk about it. Are there particular spreads you like to use? What about predicting relationships? I often say that love is unpredictable. And I recognize that, that may be like the single biggest question or most frequent question that we handle. When will I find someone? Does this person really care about me? How can I make this relationship work? All of this. But how do we do that? And one of my favorite things is a simple 3-card relationship spread. And it's actually a 3-card spread that can turn into a 9-card spread. And what I do is I divide the deck into 3. This side is person A. The other side is person B. There's your relationship. Here's Mary, here's John. And then the middle card gives insight into the relationship. Then, and you can also look at the 2 cards, like who is Mary in this relationship? Who is John in this relationship? What do we see about the relationship? Then you can always look at the next card to see what lies, from dig deeper for more information. And you can also look at the bottom card to see what lies beneath. David says, most of the time when I see a relationship that should not continue, the querent should not continue. The querent, usually the woman, does not want to hear that and has all kinds of reasons to give him another chance. This is where, I've developed a great deal of skill in this over time in learning what questions to ask the cards and also what questions to ask the querent. And I have to say, I have seen this both with men and women and also gay and straight. If there's someone you're with and you want to believe it's going to work, a lot of times we don't like to hear the truth. And I think it is hard to give definitive truth. You can't really tell someone what to do. But I think that you can really ask questions of the cards, such as, what is the best this relationship can be? What can my querent do to help this relationship? So if the querent is stuck on this relationship, that's where I'll go is, okay, let's take a look at what the best is that this can be. Let's take a look at what you can do to make it the best it can be. And that way you're reading in line with what their hopes are, but you're going to be reading the truth, so it'll come out like, okay, the best it can be is you keep your mouth shut, you do exactly what he tells you to do. When he cheats, you don't worry about it, and you just go forward. He's happy, you learn to be happy with that. If that's what you want, that's fine. So that's my trick for doing that. Okay. Dina, we can look at the energies around the relationship, but cannot predict for the client what will happen as they have free will. And that's very true. I have in my career seen relationships that I thought would work out well, and they didn't because someone did a boneheaded thing. And I've seen relationships that I thought really wouldn't work well, but they did because someone grew. And so, yeah, there's always potential for anything. Really looking at the future of a relationship is very, very difficult and very tricky. And that's why I think, as Dina says, we have to really look at what's going on right now. And let's play with what's going on right now. Okay. Susan, one of the practices that I always do is to look at the spread, not just for what is there, but for what is not there. Yes, agreed. In the light of the question. For future relationship and a positive future, I'm looking for the Two of Cups, the Hierophant, the Four of Wands, the Ten of Cups, etc. If those things aren't there, that's significant. That's a significant thing. Linda, I just pull 3 cards to get an overview and then do a Celtic cross. TK, I like to be practical. Since health is an investment and wealth factor too, an upright or reverse pentacle card will make it clear for me if the relationship is worth it or not just money, but also energy and emotion. Leisha, I quite often see in a relationship reading that it will take a lot of work. Yes. I ask the client if they want to work that hard. What are they willing to give up if there's a big sacrifice likely? Yes. You guys are brilliant. Yes. When I say it's not going to be all hearts and flowers, I risk something in saying that, I believe. Well, it's truth, though. It's absolutely truth. So then there is the issue of soulmates. Is he my soulmate? I had someone say to me the other day about a person she wasn't even dating yet. I think he's my soulmate. Now, I have to tell you that I personally bristle when I hear the word soulmate because I think it creates so many expectations. And it suggests that there might just be one person in the world that you could be with. Or it suggests that there is some spiritual mandate that these people be together. And so when someone wants to talk about soulmate stuff, Celeste says no relationship is all hearts and flowers. Amen, sister. Absolutely. So when someone wants to talk about soulmate stuff, I really sort of look at, that's the kind of thing that time will tell. If you've been together for 30 years and you still love each other as much as you ever did and you are still enjoying each other, then by all means call each other soulmates. Love at first sight is the same thing. I tell the story now that when I first laid eyes on my husband, I loved him. And man, I thought he was really hot. That is a damn fact. But I can tell that story now because we've been married for so many years. If we'd never gotten together, he would have just been that cute guy that I saw. If we'd gotten it together and it hadn't worked, it would just not have been love at first sight. It would have been maybe lust at first sight, attraction at first sight. So I feel like a lot of stories that we tell about our relationships, only time can tell. you know? And that's a hard thing to say in a reading when people are looking for information about the future. But I think our job is to give people the information they need right now to have the best possible future in love and in all things. Okay. Kimberly, at a wedding once, I was asked by several people, is he the one? Thoughts on this? I try to go another way if possible, but I did a few and one didn't make sense to me. I offered that client to have something else, but she was really upset by what came up. Even though it didn't make sense to me, she didn't want to hear anything more. So here's how I handle that. Is he the one? I will always say, that's for you to decide, but let's take a look. Let's take a look at what we see. And then I will pull cards for compatibility. What is the compatibility between these people? And it will give some sense of they're easily compatible, they're not easily compatible. They're compatible, but they'll have these issues. And at that point, I can at least say, this is worth pursuing. Let's see what happens. Or, I don't think this is going to be the one, and here's why. So that's how I handle that. Once a reader asked about her lover, and the card indicated the Seven of Pentacles. Turns out he was a farmer. Right, there you go. Marion, soulmate, twin flames, set my teeth on edge. Me too. Irene, we have many soulmates, sure. And that's it. I mean, it's just a language thing, It's really no difference from, I grew up in the Methodist Church. When we say the Lord's Prayer, we say, forgive us our trespasses. When you go to the Presbyterian Church, they say, forgive us our debts. We have different words for things. I'm not even quite sure what a soulmate is supposed to be. I think people have different ideas on what it's supposed to be, and that's one reason I don't like it. It's confusing. Kimberly likes focusing on compatibility. Very good. Dina, I think the soulmates are the relationship you go through before you get to the good stuff, right? Right? Julie says soulmates are not romantic to me. Toughest soul teachers of lessons, sure. Lisa, I love, Lisa, I love that word bristle. Yes. I hate the term soulmates or worse, twin flame. Yeah, I agree. It's just not in, and no offense to anyone for whom these constructs work, but it's not a construct that really works well for me. Although I will say this, I do believe in past lives. I do believe in the concept of the soul family. And I do believe that we have past life ties and karmic ties with certain people. Often, as Julie says, that they can become our most difficult teachers. But these are the people, man, we'll have an instant sense of connection and attraction with them. But where that leads us can be a whole other thing. But again, that's my belief set. Maybe that's not your belief set. And that's one of the interesting things. When we study tarot together, when we read for each other, is we're all coming from a different set of beliefs. And we have to find a way to find a common language and a way to do that respectfully. So that's part of what we learn and part of what we learn here at Global Tarot Circle. So, what do the card guys say? You've done it. You've wasted another hour with me. Here we are. We did it. So thank you so much. We'll meet again next month. Now is the time for shameless self-promotion. If you have a social media link, a web page, anything you would like to promote, go ahead and put it right in the comments. Let's help each other. Let's patronize each other. Let me run through a few other things. Let's just see what Ginny has to say. I haven't done many relationship readings because I haven't done many live readings yet, so this discussion helps me understand what can come up and how to handle answers. Yes! Thank you, Cheryl, for a great question. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Marion, the modern notion of twin flames seemed to be a reason for for people putting up with things that otherwise they wouldn't in a relationship. I've seen that. Susan, agree completely with past lives attachments. Some of the toughest relationships to maintain or bring to an end. Robin, you've been quiet here, but glad you're here. David, I've heard that soulmates are intended to learn different lessons and experience different things together, and then they get together and share them between lives. Okay, thank you, everyone. Drop your links for shameless self-promotion. Here's mine. Get StarCon on your calendar. January 22nd through 24th, 2021. There is nowhere you would rather be than in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida at StarCon. Go to the StarCon Facebook group and ask to join, StarCon with 2 A's, and check out our website. We have a lot of great presenters. Benabel Wen is coming. Mary Greer is coming. A lot of great people, so we will hope to see you all there. In the meanwhile, if you're local, come to my relationships class on February 19th. We still have openings for our murder mystery night tomorrow night. Would love to see you there. And of course, Cards and Conversation, our monthly tarot meetup on Sunday. And remember, I am doing a monthly live video on my YouTube channel. What? You're not subscribing to my YouTube channel? Why not? It's just my name, Christiana Gaudette. Okay, very good. Hey, Billy, we didn't get to your question about recording, but I'm going to try to remember that for next time because it's a really good question. Thanks for being here. Oh, and Marion is coming all the way from Scotland, and she's going to be presenting, so isn't that great? How far are we from Daytona? Couple hours, not a lot, couple hours. Okay. And if you're flying directly in, you fly into Palm Beach International is the closest. Okay, very good. Thank you, everyone. Hope to see you all soon. Thanks for being here. And do remember, I am available for readings by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, or in person here in my Palm City office. I travel to Connecticut a couple of times a year. I will be there in April and May. I travel to the Tampa Bay area from time to time. I'll be back there in June. And I look forward to working with you all soon. Oh, and one more thing. I do a mentorship program. If you would like to take your tarot reading to the next level, if you would like to build your tarot business, I can help. Just reach out. Thank you all so much. Okay, and Jeannie says, once my first tarot-themed conference is under my belt, participant only at Reader Studio this year, I'll head over to StarCon. Yay! Very good. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you all. And if you're watching an archive, I appreciate you too. Thanks for being here.